Our chief reporter, Kaveh Solhekol, has come back on set. Kaveh, oh my goodness. How do you react to that?
Well, look, the first thing you should say is that referees are human beings. They make mistakes like everybody else. They were working there in a very highly pressurised environment, and they made a mistake, and it was a big mistake, and the eyes of the world were on them, and now they are paying the consequences. And the mistake they made was that they thought they were checking a goal that had been allowed. And you heard that in the audio there and the video that we saw. They worked very, very quickly. Some people may say they were working too quickly because they're under pressure to make these decisions quickly, because when they take a lot of time, people complain that they're taking too long. But I think once you watch and listen to that audio, you realise just how quickly they are making these decisions and why there is the possibility of mistakes being made in these kind of situations. I think one thing that will be worrying for supporters who listen and watch this audio and video is the fact that the video operator was the person who seemed to be aware of what was going on before anybody else. And he was the one who was saying, look, the PGMOL hub operator, Oli, is telling us to delay the game, which I think he means that we need to stop the game because a big mistake has been made. But then you heard the VAR coming in, sounding more and more panicked and saying, look, we can't. There's nothing we can do. The game has started now. We can't do anything. They've restarted. We can't do anything. We can't do anything. He kept repeating. So I think there's still a lot of questions. I don't think this audio clears everything up, but it gives us an insight into just what a highly pressurised environment these referees are working in, and the video operators and the hub operators as well. And unfortunately, VAR is not foolproof. Mistakes will be made. But of course, lessons have to be learned from this, and I'm sure new protocols will be introduced to make sure that if mistakes are made, they're not mistakes that are as big as this.
But he says that you know, the game's restarted. We can't delay the game now. But if they had delayed the game, nobody would have complained, would they? Because they'd have got the right decision. They would have just could have put their hands up and go, we got that wrong. Actually, it's a goal. And away we went.
Well, they would have been breaking the laws of football. If you stick to the letter...
They wouldn't have had all this, would they?
If you stick to the letter of the law as laid down by the IFAB, who make the laws of the game, and the VAR protocols, once the game has restarted, you can't go back and stop the game and change the decision. Now, a lot of people are arguing today that that is exactly what they should have done. And I'm sure a lot of people will agree with you as well. This could have all been cleared up if they'd done that. And I don't think FIFA or IFAB would have thrown the book at them if that is what they had done. But unfortunately, they decided to stick to the letter of the law. And as you heard the VAR, Darren England saying there, we can't do anything. They've restarted. We can't do anything. We can't do anything. Of course, with the benefit of hindsight, they could have done something, but it would have involved breaking the laws of the game.
Now, you say lessons have got to be learned. What can they learn?
I think the first lesson to be learned from listening to that audio is that it's got to be clearer exactly what the VAR is checking for, because it wasn't made explicitly clear that that goal had been disallowed. That goal had been ruled offside. That wasn't made explicitly clear. Everybody seemed to be in too much of a rush. So I think going forward, that is one of the things that may change. Protocol may be introduced to make it absolutely clear to the VAR, even if it needs repeating a few times so people get annoyed about the fact that, oh, look, it's obvious, why do you need to keep saying this? But just to make sure that this mistake isn't made again in the future, it needs to be crystal clear what the VAR is checking for.